Hello and welcome. I am Oles Garjuk and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. In 2018, the online system called OpenMarket entered the list of the top 500 most profitable state enterprises of Ukraine. Annually, more than 300 million hryvnias is transferred to the state budget due to the sales made at electronic auctions. To discuss achievements of OpenMarket during this year, we welcome to the studio today Viktor Vyshnov, Director of the System of Electronic Trading and Seized Property. Hello and thank you for joining us today.
Good day.
Good day. So I said about last year, about the achievement of 2018, and also it's worth adding that exactly last year OpenMarket started also organizing auctions on state land. Could you please provide us with the information about the achievements of this year and compare with the results that you had during the last year when you just launched this project of selling the land?
Yeah, this pilot project was launched on September last year, and now we have 1,000 successful auctions held already. It was launched like a pilot project under the provisions of Cabinet of Ministers decree, and now it was prolonged until autumn of 2019. So I hope that this year will be very successful for the land lease auctions, because that's not selling of state land, but leasing of state agricultural land.
Yes, right. We're talking about leasing.
Our project together with State Service of Geocadastre, because they are in charge of all state land of which is used for agriculture, and we try to broaden this pilot project to other lands which are now transferred from State Geocadastre Service to other communities of Ukraine. They have already received 1.5 million of hectares of land, state land, and it's now communal, so they can lease it through our auctions also.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned 1,000 cases when the land was leased, right? What money are we talking about?
The total amount of auctions which were held are 1,700. Among them, more than 1,000 were successful. And if we talk about the money, the starting price of selling was 29 million hryvnias, and we sold it for more than 79 million hryvnias. So the surplus was more than 50 million hryvnias per year.
Per year.
So local authorities will receive every year about 80 million hryvnias for land lease.
So 80 million hryvnias, this is the maximum price that you've got?
I think it's nice price for this first 1,000 auctions, and we hope that the more...
You were starting, you mentioned that you were starting with the 29 in September, yes? And then it reached...
29, it was the starting price.
The starting price of the lot?
Price,
of
yes.
the lot, okay.
And during our auctions, it was more than 1.8 times higher than it was started with our auctions. So, and before our pilot project, they used usual auctions, and the surplus was only 12%.
Well, this period when the OpenMarket electronic platform is operating, I can basically divide on two terms, 5 months of 2018 and 5 months of 2019. How would you compare, well, the results, the pace of these auctions? I've heard you said that about 1,700 auctions took place, but only 700 of them, well, didn't bring any result. So this gives us some positive impression about the auction procedure.
That's only concerning land lease auctions. Separate thing is our usual auctions of arrested assets,
seized property,
and seized property, and also arrested assets from which we receive from Agency of Recovery and Management of Assets. We continue our cooperation with this agency, and just concerning open market land project, yes, really, we started our cooperation, and it was only the first auctions took place really in October 2018, so there were only 3 months which we worked in 2018. And what we can tell that the bigger field is transferred to auction, the more people want to take part in these auctions. So and this produces that the price goes higher. We had maybe the most successful auction was not so long ago. We sold the right of leasing of 150 hectares in Kirovograd region. The starting price was 411,000 hryvnias, and we finished more than 1.9 million hryvnias.
Can you tell us who is interested in this land leasing in Ukraine? Are we talking about foreigners, or are we talking about Ukrainian businessmen, some companies that want to have some farming business on these territories?
We can talk about agro holdings, we can talk about farmers, big,
from
small,
Ukraine?
From Ukraine, mostly from Ukraine. If we talk about agro holdings, there are some foreign investors who possess these agro holdings, but mostly it's Ukrainian farmers, and even just physical persons who also take part in these auctions.
Mm-hmm.
And we can even speak about such interesting point that small or medium farmers, they usually know these pieces of land better than, for example, agro holdings, and they know that they can use them more efficiently, and they often pay more for that field.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we speak about all the auctions, not only about land lease or seized property, could you please tell us I don't know, the most interesting story for you, the most interesting auction, and what was the most expensive lot this year?
This year it was really the most expensive lot for the whole history of SETAM system. In February we sold a big asset in Kiev. It was worth more than 560 million hryvnias. It was part of Arsenal plant.
Quite impressive figure.
And the company which bought it, they are now renovating this building, and soon there will be a new office center in the center of Kiev.
It's going to be office center.
Yes.
Is this also a Ukrainian company? Who has this much
Ukrainian
money?
company.
Ukrainian company. Surprisingly.
They will renovate it with cooperation with Ukrboot company.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope in 2 years they will finish this project. It was the most expensive, and really we worked on this project more than 2 years together with Ukrgazbank, because it's the property of Ukrgazbank. It was voluntary sale. It was not arrested, not seized property, and we are really glad that at last we found the interested company.
Mm-hmm. And the very last issue to focus on, because we're running out of time, unfortunately, recently President Petro Poroshenko signed the Code of Ukraine on bankrupt proceedings, and now SETAM can become a platform for the sale of bankrupt assets. What are your hopes on that?
We really hope that the Cabinet of Ministers will soon adopt all the necessary decrees concerning the sales of bankruptcy assets. But in the code it's noted that there will be 2 levels of such system. The first level will be administrator of that system, which will be in charge of all the auction system, and there will be a big number of operators, different websites on which you can go and buy those assets. We are ready to become such an administrator of such database, as we have API on our system, which gives an opportunity to other websites to connect to our platform and to use it with the highest efficiency for them.
Does this mean that open market system gets into the competition with the Prozora sales system?
I think it should be differently told that Prozora sales system will become a competitor to
the open market,
because we are in charge of the market of seized property and arrested property, and it will depend on Cabinet of Ministers who will decide which system is more efficient.
Well, usually competition provides for more motivation to work even better.
Of course.
Well, so far, I thank you for your answers. Thank you for being a guest today in our studio.
Thank you.
That was Viktor Vyshnov, Director of the System of Electronic Trading in Seized Property. Thank you for watching Head to Head, and stay tuned for more with UATV.